Well, thank you, Kathy, for coming here and volunteering to share your thoughts and your experience during my program. So welcome. And I just wanted to ask you first, what made you decide to book with me, first of all?
I was in a desperate situation. I was binge eating chocolate, sweet things. I just seemed to have a craving for them. And I was in a very low state of my life. I realized that weight was creeping on and I was getting more and more falling into a pit. And it was difficult to get out of that pit. And I found you on Google and decided that that was for me. The binge eating and whatever you could offer. It was just something that jumped out at me.
So what do you reckon kind of triggered that time where you just said that it got out of control?
When I had 6 cream eggs, one after the Cadbury's cream eggs, one after the other, without even thinking, and then felt terribly sick. The loathing, the self-loathing, because of being out of control of myself. Having said that, it was an accumulation of things going on around me that I was in control with. I knew it wasn't just me being greedy. It was something that I was filling my body with, knowing that I was trying to comfort myself. But it was the self-loathing and the spinning round and not knowing where I was. I totally lost control. I don't even like cream eggs. I mean, it was just that I was addicted to the chocolate. I think that's what I'd say. I was addicted to the sweetness.
And you said also that you had got into a habit of waking up and the first thing that you would do is go for the sweets. Tell me about that.
Well, this started a long time ago. I mean, not like years ago, when I used to nap when the children were little, and then I'd wake up and feel terribly hungry. And then I'd forgotten about that. But this time, I am napping a lot in the afternoons. Not a lot because of lockdown and one thing and another. And if I go for a long walk, I do find myself nodding off in the chair. And I do wake up. And the first thing I do is go and I feel hungry. I don't in the morning, never do in the morning. But I wake up from and that doesn't happen anymore, by the way. I go for a long drink of water instead. But the first thing I think of is, I don't know what it was. I really don't know what it was that made me feel I had to put food into my body. And that's gone.
And you also said that during our work together that you had that realization that you felt like you were going to run out of food. That was really interesting.
Yes, I did. I wondered if in a former life I'd been starved of something. I just was trying to analyze myself, probably overdoing it, overthinking as to why I felt as though I had to shove anything in my mouth that was going. I thought of all kinds of reasons why it would happen. I pick at food, and that is very much in control at the moment.
You said one of the things that you noticed, I remember you were saying that before, you would keep picking and picking and picking. The other day you had a bowl of grapes and you had one grape and that's all you want. Tell me about that. How that felt like.
I mean, normally I'd have a handful of grapes and just ram them in my mouth all at once, but I had one grape and put them back. It was wonderful. It was just
and did that feel effortless to you?
Yeah, it did. I don't go and grab things the same unless I am hungry, and I know the difference. Yesterday I was doing a lot of driving. I was on the road most of the day, so when I came in I knew that I hadn't really prepared to eat because I stayed with friends over the weekend, and my granddaughter was staying here. She's vegan, I am not vegan, and so I made an omelette, as quickly as I possibly could. Normally I just ram a great big piece of cheese in or whatever. And then just, I can't remember what I cooked. I had a baked potato or something like that. But I realised then that I really, really was hungry.
Well, do you feel like since the work that we did together that you're more motivated to kind of wait for a proper meal rather than grab like something quick?
Yes.
Yeah. And do you feel more satisfied when you eat now because of that?
Yes, I do actually. I take more time with it. It's more of an enjoyable thing. I mean, I had a nice weekend with a friend, and we cooked and we had nice meals. I mean, there certainly weren't restricted meals, but it was just very nice. You know, it wasn't unhealthy. It was very nice. Yes, I've got a different outlook towards. I've got a normal outlook towards food now.
Yeah.
Do you know, I haven't even looked at a piece of chocolate, and I haven't had any cakes or anything.
Or cravings. How's the cravings? Do you like get tempted to eat them, or you're like,
no, just gone.
Do you feel like you're in tune to your desires? You eat what you want.
I am more in tune to what I put in my mouth. Yes, I do feel that.
Yeah.
I do feel I'm still carrying around a lot, 6 pounds more than I should be. And I'd very much like to get rid of that. But I feel that at the moment, it's the feel-good feeling of being able to control what I'm eating.
Yeah.
And the feel-good feeling that eventually, hopefully, I have lost about 4 pounds, but I think it'll come off in a more natural.
Absolutely. Because, when you lose it slowly, that's proper weight. The problem with diets and these fad diets, these shakes, and really super healthy, it's too clean. You end up losing a lot of water and it's not sustainable weight loss. But when you just eat what you love, enjoy what you're eating, your body will then find what I call its natural equilibrium, where it's happy and content, and you will feel that as well. So 4 pounds, and that's not too bad since, what was it, 2 weeks? That's
it's not bad.
Yeah, that's 2 pounds a week. So that's a good weight loss. You had hypnosis before, didn't you? You had it for cigarette smoking.
About 16, just before, I think 17 years ago. And I was a social smoker. I didn't realise how social I was.
Most people, until they stopped.
I went with a group of 10 people, and I thought, I don't really need to stop smoking. But I did, and I was the only one that did actually stop smoking. I've never put a cigarette to my mouth since. And I just must be very susceptible, because it just worked.
Yeah.
It worked with this, yeah.
And I think the reason why this has worked for you as well, Kathy, is because of your determination to want to change. Because you really, when I first met you, you really expressed how much you wanted this to stop. You felt out of control, and all the other things that you were saying. What was your favorite part, or what is the significant thing that you enjoyed the most out of working with me or the program? What have you learned that has really been valuable to take you forward?
The deep hypnosis, the detox, where it was so unbelievably powerful. I had to lie down for the rest of the day. I was just exhausted. And I felt that was, I couldn't believe it. It was just, and I wasn't even conscious of being so deeply hypnotized. It's an awareness. It's an awareness. I don't know what it was, but it made a huge difference to me. I just felt as though a total weight had been taken off my shoulders. that I'd been carrying around with me. And I know it sounds cliche, I felt newborn.
Yeah, absolutely.
When I came out of that. And yeah, I'm up for another one because it was just amazing. And now I do, you know, I did suffer with anxiety because of all this going on and everything that's happened and living on my own, learning to and stuff. So
the anxiety, you said that you had anxiety because of what was going on.
Yes, I did have anxiety. So sorry. So I feel now that I can understand its anxiety, and I can realize that what the feeling is, and I understand that that's what's happening. And for some unearthly reason, I can't think why, I just think, well, tough, and it happens. I never was an over anxious person, really, but it was always happening inwards, and I'd get myself all worked up inside. Now, I'll give you a tiny little instance. I was due to meet my family at something that was going on, and it was a jousting thing, and they were all together, and I forgot my phone. I took the wrong road, and I meant to tell them and get in touch with them, and I had left my phone at home. Now, to everything, if anybody had been sat next to me, they said, well, we might as well go home because we'll never get hold of them, and they're on this field, and there, you know, thousands and thousands of people. And I thought, oh, well, I'll just make my way there. And I did. And I thought, well, I can't do anything about it. And there was my children stood at the door, hi, waiting for me. Well, normally I probably would have panicked. It's just a little thing, but I thought, well, just let it happen. Yeah. And it did.
And many of these things are very subtle. Like I said before, your mind, you get used to a state, and before you get used to a state of like worry and being anxious and reacting. And it isn't until you do reflect back and think,
yes,
God, I blooming handled that really well.
And I do. One of my problems with I would overthink things, not overthink things. I think, oh, I have to do this, then I've got to do that, and I'd be overwhelmed. It was quite easy for me to be overwhelmed because of what's going on in my life as well. And I was trying to get my house order somewhere where I was in control of this, and this. And now I don't think what I'm going to do next. I just do whatever I think is the way to go, and I'll just let it flow. And that has been the magic to me. I can't let things overwhelm me anymore. I'm too old and too daft, and who cares?
But have you found that you still get it done even though you're not panicked?
Oh, I get it done. If I think about it too much, or if you think about, oh, I've got to do this, I've got to do that, but if I don't know, for some, something clicks in with what you said or did, or it's the challenge or whatever it is, and I think, oh, all right, and I get more done without thinking about it than ever I do.
Yeah. That's the irony, isn't it? That's the irony. Yes. We all, like most of us, you know, admittedly, I get like that. Oh my God, I have to do this, that, and the other. You have like 10 things on the to-do list, get overwhelmed, and it really doesn't help. You end up having a mind block, actually. You have the opposite.
And I sit down with exhaustion because I've been thinking about it so much, about what I have to do next. But since the hypnosis, I have to say, I don't. The anxiety is well, it doesn't happen.
Yeah, it's almost like, would you say that it's still, you know, like having emotions? Well, I keep telling people, it's like, it's not going to get rid of your problems in life. Nothing will change outside of you. Will happen. Things happen. That's life. That's the marvelous thing about being human. But the difference is with hypnosis, you can actually see it objectively. You can see, well, It's not going to help me to worry and think about it 10,000 times. You're able to recognize that feeling, almost like, yeah, I recognize that feeling. It doesn't feel good. And rather than trying to fight it, it's almost like allowing it to happen and then, and then carry on living with it. It's almost being able to have no fear around the emotions. Would you say that's a good, accurate description? It doesn't go away.
Yes,
You're just
taking the fear out. Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
what is the fear? But it's just the fact that I think it's a challenge. You challenge yourself to get these things to do on the list, and that has to be done. And then you feel, well, if I don't get them done, I've failed.
Yeah,
that doesn't happen.
Yeah, and that's the truth. Only because things happen doesn't mean you're less of a person. And because you feel so, I would say it's because the giving you back that feeling of being lovable and being enough. Because no matter what happens, life events, annoying events, it doesn't make you a less of a person. And when you feel like that from the inside, it really doesn't matter what happens, doesn't it? Isn't it?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. So when you think about life going forward, what are you looking forward to the most now from feeling like this?
I feel that I'm not feeling unworthy anymore. I've regained the confidence that I had. To go forward, I'm very happy with the situation I'm in now. I've got a friend who is a friend, and he's lovely, and I can see him if and when I feel like it. I've got my home back. The sun's shining, and I just take each day at a time.
Yeah.
Because the world's opening up now, and who knows what's around the corner. But whatever it is, I don't have that fear that I'm a has-been anymore. A lot of it was to do with my age as well, because I know I shouldn't, but I do. And my mother used to say, their friends were dying around her. And she said, oh, mother. But it's true. And a lot of, for instance, looking at photographs and things like that the other day, and a lot of my contemporaries had passed away. And I think, oh, not that I'm scared of that, or I dwell on it. It's the fact that, how can I start again? How can I open up my life again without thinking, oh, well, I might not have a lot of time left. I'm from a family that lived into their hundreds, so I really will probably outpass everybody here. But I wanted to get that zizz back to push me forward, to think, well, sod the world. If I want to wear a purple hat, no, because I will. And now I've got it. I've got that push. Yeah.
And do you know what? You're going to enjoy your life so much more to the full, like they say.
Yeah.
Right.
Up, absolutely. Because I realised, well, I don't realise that I needed that. It's just been a phenomenal experience, and I've enjoyed every moment of it.
And really what a gift! And what a gift it is for yourself, isn't it?
Yes, and I would recommend you to anybody, everybody that.
I was going to say.
Needs putting on the right track.
What would you say to people who are really putting it off?
Well, I wish I'd done it 10 years ago. I wish I'd been able to do it 10 years ago. Not that I felt as bad as I did now, but I think it would have been, I think it would have helped me. Well, I just wish. I know I can't, but it would have been good. So if anybody's thinking about doing it, bite the bullet and get on with it. Because if there's anything niggling in the background, it's just not worth it.
Absolutely.
And it's just amazing how, it eats within your soul. I was finding that I was destroying my body, and I was also destroying my soul.
Yeah.
And now I'm not. I feel as though I'm not anyway.
Yeah, absolutely. Because the only reason that I'm here as well is because I've gone through the transformation like you, Kathy. I've gone through it and I've experienced it as well. Definitely, I would, definitely ditto your words there. I think at any age, even when you're going through the challenges of being in your young 20s, feeling, you have to be good or as good as someone else, or even in your at any age when you're having that midlife crisis where you just don't know where to place yourself, and then you were unsure as well, like at your time, Kathy, what direction you wanted to go. You certainly didn't want to carry on down the road that you were going down, and but here we are. Yeah, you're gonna have a fantastic life, Kathy, and it's been an absolute pleasure with helping you. And you know what? You did it all yourself, Kathy. All I did was to hold your hand. Well, via Zoom because you're in England.
Doing all this,
Yeah, yeah. Did they do that in the UK? That's what we do in France. So yeah, and but you did everything. All I did was to help you find your answers. Remember, I was saying you've got all the answers inside you. You know exactly what you want, and hypnosis will not give you anything that you don't want. Like I said, if hypnosis was that easy, why wouldn't there be lots of robbers hypnotizing banks to give them their money, or that using hypnosis for things like that? Because really it's just to enhance what you really want deep inside of you. So if you really want it, you can have it and continue. And
I can't recommend or speak too highly of you at all. It's just wonderful, and thank you, Mel.
You're very welcome. And of course you've got all those tools that you can use to for life, because life happens, and all the things that you've learned during the program, that you can use that whenever you want. Only because we've stopped working together doesn't mean that you stop working on yourself. In actual fact, this is the beginning of an exciting journey for you now, Kathy, and you can use those tools to even enhance other areas of your life. So you've got everything you need now. So
thank you.
Okay, and so anyway, thank you so much, Kathy, and I hope you enjoy lots of sunshine, and even if it rains.
It was just too. It really is. It's 25 degrees today, and
Wow, I can see you've got your nice dress on.
Well, I was running around. It's too hot to put anything else on. Isn't that wonderful?
When it's hot in the UK, it really is super hot. So, but now, even if it rains, like they said, if it rains, you just dance in the rain anyway, because you're already happy.
Oh, yeah.
You don't rely on the weather to be happy, because you've already got a lot of joy inside of you now in place, and you can keep it forever. You don't have to give that back. You can keep that. All right then. Okay, thank you so much, Kathy.
Thank you.
Okay.